Abstract classes and methods. Meaning of abstract in real world. In real life, many times you have heard about abstract art or abstract painting. It is kind of a painting that doesn't represent a person, a place, or a thing in a real world. It represents something that exists in thoughts or that physically doesn't exist. So, cut the long story short, abstract is something you can't understand clearly. Get back to our object-oriented world. What is an abstract class and why we need it? In our previous example, it makes sense to create a bike object or a car object or a van and truck objects. But what exactly will be a vehicle object? How will it look like? What will be its shape? When we say vehicle, it's not clear which vehicle we are talking about. So it doesn't make any sense to create an object of a vehicle class. Just like that, when we say transportation vehicle or passenger vehicle, it is still not clear what transportation vehicle or what passenger vehicle we are talking about. So, it also doesn't make any sense to create an object of these two classes. So, how to deal with this? We need these classes for inheritance, but we don't want anyone to create objects of these classes. We only want programmers to create object of bike, car, van, and truck. Fortunately, there is a very simple way to prevent a class from ever being instantiated. In other words, there is a very simple way to stop anyone from creating the object of that class ever again. By marking the class as abstract. Then the compiler will never let you create the object of that class. To make a class as abstract, we simply use the keyword abstract before class. So here we made all these three classes as abstract. And here we are trying to create object of these abstract classes. Let's see what happens. And it's a fatal error that we cannot instantiate an abstract class. What is an abstract method and why we need it? All of these vehicles need regular maintenance to work properly. So it means all these classes need a do maintenance method in them. As we have discussed before that a common method should go in the base class, but we can't keep this method in base class because maintenance of every vehicle is different. So every class need its own do maintenance method. Now come to the code. Here we have implemented do maintenance method in all these classes. It is not doing the actual maintenance, just printing simple messages like bike maintenance, car maintenance, truck maintenance. Now here we are creating objects of all these classes and then calling do maintenance methods on these objects. Let's see the result. So far so good, no error, everything is going smoothly. But consider a situation that we give our vehicles to some other company for their maintenance. They just call do maintenance method on every vehicle for their maintenance. Now after some time, we need to add some new vehicles in our vehicle collection and we handed over this task to some new programmer. He added the new classes but he forgot to implement do maintenance method in them. Or maybe he didn't realize that it was an important method and he was supposed to add this method in all new vehicle classes. Now what will happen when maintenance company will try to call do maintenance method of every vehicle? The app will break down because some of the vehicles don't have this do maintenance method in them. This is where an abstract method comes into play. We have to declare a doMaintenance abstract method in parent class, but we don't actually insert any code in that method. Then all child classes must have to implement that abstract method in them, because if they don't, it will be a fatal error. So, by declaring an abstract method in parent class, we specify that what methods child classes must do, not how to do it, because we can't provide implementation in abstract method. It's child class headache to decide how to do it. So we have to provide implementation of method in child classes. Now come to the code. Here we are adding this doMaintenance abstract method in our vehicle class. To declare an abstract method, simply use abstract keyword before method declaration. We can also specify any parameters in the method. However, we don't need any parameter in this method. It will be a very simple method. Abstract method is a method that has no body. I mean a method having no code. If we declare one or more method of a class to be abstract, then we must also declare the whole class to be abstract. If we have an abstract method in a class and we don't declare the whole class as abstract, it will be an error. Childs of vehicle are passenger vehicle and transportation vehicle. We are not implementing this method in them because this method is related to these classes. So in all these classes, we are implementing this method. Now come to the code file. This is the abstract method in vehicle class, and bike class, van class, and truck class are implementing this method, but we didn't include this method in car class. Now here we are creating objects of all these classes. Now, if a child class doesn't implement parent class abstract method, then it is also considered to be abstract. And we can't create an object of an abstract class. So let's see that compiler let us do this or not. And a fatal error. So it means compiler will not let us create an object of car class if we don't implement doMaintenance abstract method in it. Now, the opposite of an abstract class. It is a class that implements all the methods of its parent abstract class. It is called a concrete class. So in our class hierarchy, these three are abstract classes and these are concrete classes. Now, there is one very important point I want to discuss. We have defined these two classes abstract. If we don't define them abstract explicitly using abstract keyword, even then they will be abstract because they are not implementing abstract method of their parent class. So compiler will always consider them abstract class. Now some key points about abstract classes and methods. An abstract class has no use unless it is extended by some other class. If you declare an abstract method in a class, then you must declare the class abstract as well. You cannot have an abstract method in a non-abstract class. Its vice versa is not always true. If a class is not having any abstract method, even then it can be marked as abstract. Abstract class can have non-abstract methods as well.